Okay, we know what it is now. Everyone can relax. God, you guys don't know how stressful this topic is. Like, I'm freaking out right now, and I'm super tired if you can't tell. But, we're gonna get right into it. Okay, so we have a lot to cover. This is probably going to be a longer video due to the amount of points that I have to cover, but I'm going to try to speed through them as quickly as I can. I usually make a script that I can read so I don't stutter and stuff, so I don't have to cut down audio as much. But for this video, it's more of a list of the points for you guys rather than just a bunch of words. I'm going to try to be more personal, and it's going to be delightful. So stick around for the ride. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so hopefully you guys know this. I am a bit late to the party, but the PlayStation Neo is no more. Why is this? I don't know. I hate it so much when companies rename their stuff from a cool code name to something a little less cool. I mean, don't get me wrong, the Pro is a cool name for the PlayStation 4, but not as cool as Neo. Okay, so the PlayStation 4 Pro is 4K capable for both games and online media, and it will be released November 10th for $399, 400 US dollars. An excellent price, if you ask me. Now, there was quite a bit of controversy surrounding the aesthetic of the console. I will admit it kind of looks like a deluxe cheeseburger from McDonald's. So yes, I would say with confidence that the Pro will be less powerful than the Scorpio, obviously because it's a year beforehand. But it will support 4K gaming using the Polaris architecture to a certain degree. Keep that in mind, it's to a certain degree. It's just like the rumors predicted. It's not that powerful. It's not powerful enough to render complete and utter, quote, Sony, brute force 4K gaming. If you were trying to cover up the fact that the PlayStation 4 Pro could not hit 4K full on, just say it can't fully render full 4K. We used another solution and upscaling to get a similar image. Don't say brute force, it just means that your console's less powerful. Okay, so nothing really new in the department of the specs because we pretty much knew the specs about a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago. So I'm just going to repeat myself. Here they are again. The CPU is an AMD Jaguar 8-core processor overclocked to 2.1 gigahertz. The graphics card is an AMD Radeon-based graphics card with 36 compute units clocked at 911 megahertz. It has 8 gigabytes of GDDR5 to output 218 gigabytes. The hard drive is obviously 1 terabyte from what they were saying, and the disk drive only supports DVD and Blu-ray, but I will get to the disk format in a little bit. Now for the question everyone has been asking. Since the graphical capabilities of the PlayStation 4 Pro is nearly equivalent to the RX 480, can it really handle true 4K? This one's a difficult one, and it's honestly, I'm a little upset by it. Could they have increased the spec of the PS4 Pro to basically do 4K? Yes, they could have. But Sony decided to use their optimization techniques that they've learned over the past couple years to kind of simulate 4K, I guess. I mean, it obviously is a higher resolution than 1440p or 1800p. In order to understand checkerboard rendering, you have to understand a grid-based system. Okay, so 1080p is what the original PS4 could do, and 4K is 4 times that amount of pixels. So with a GPU that's only twice as powerful as the PS4 Pro can only go so far. Honestly, it couldn't get to 4K, but 2 times the amount of pixels would be perfect for that, wouldn't it? So the grid-based system converts and extrapolates the pixels through a grid and essentially makes 2 by 2 pixels, 4 by 4 pixels, and then anti-aliasing covers the rest and makes it look like a 4K image. So essentially, is it a 4K image? Hell no, it's not. But does it look like a 4K image? Oh yeah, big time. So it can do 4K. Does that warrant a purchase? I don't know yet. Because to be completely honest, what Sony did here was somewhat subpar. They could have waited till 2017, but they didn't. Which, in most cases, it's fine. But in terms of the technology that they were trying to advertise in 2016, it's not here. What do I mean by that? They're poor marketing. What Sony tried to do with the presentation was advertise the power of the console. Why didn't this work? Well, not a whole bunch. Okay, let me start by asking this. How many of you own a 4K HDR TV? Probably not a lot. Even if you guys did, the compression of the stream would not allow you to see that in full 4K, so you wouldn't get the full experience. Not only that, but the stream wasn't in HDR. So you essentially got this 1080p 60 image, basically what the PS4 original could do. But eventually the technology will be here, but their marketing, that was the key. And HDR is one of those things, you have to see it to believe it, and I haven't seen it in person. I don't know what it looks like. I don't know how. I know that it's obviously better, but what they did in the stream was they tried to increase the contrast to make it look a little better. But that's not the way you advertise it. And paying a bunch of extra money for a new console, does this warrant an upgrade? I don't know. Now, there is one more complaint I have to go over, and it makes me so upset. Okay, so honestly, I understand that they would keep the cost of manufacturing down to $400 if they excluded the UHD Blu-ray player or whatever. But I'm sure if they added $50 to the cost, it would have been fine with 90% of the people. I completely would have been fine with paying $450 for the PlayStation Pro for a full-on media center that I can put in my living room, a cheap UHD Blu-ray player, and a gaming machine that can do 4K. I would totally be game for that. I mean, hell, Sony owns the freaking rights to Blu-ray format. Why not put your latest format into your latest console? Looking back at the PS2 days, it sold so well because it was not only a game console, but it supported playing DVDs, and nearly half the cost of a DVD player. Plus, it was a gaming machine. That was a bargain at the time. Why can't Sony do it this time? I guess I'm just disappointed, but I'd much rather get an Xbox One S to replace my original Xbox One since it includes a UHD Blu-ray player. I'm sure Sony doesn't want to hear that, but I like current and modern media, and that's the truth. So yes, the PlayStation 4 Pro can do 4K, and it has all these benefits. Don't get me wrong, I love this console. It's awesome. It's great. But is it worth buying? I'm not entirely sure. I'm not entirely convinced because it has so many caveats. It has so many, just straight up disappointments. But other than that, it's an impressive machine because it can do essentially 4K gaming, just as Sony promised. Plus, the VR capabilities on this thing will improve the fidelity like crazy, and it makes me really excited. But in terms of the 50 million people who own a PlayStation 4, should they buy a PlayStation 4 Pro? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I actually have to think about this one because currently I don't see a point in upgrading my PS4. I don't want to sell it mostly because of sentimental value, and it works perfectly fine. Why should I sell something and get something else that I'm not I don't have a 4K TV in my room. I have a 4K TV in my living room, but my parents are always using that. So why should you as a consumer buy this thing? That answer hasn't come to me yet. I honestly am not sure. It's a great product. I think it's just a little bit ahead of its time, and that's great. That is awesome. I love that, but I don't know if I'm going to buy it. Okay, I'm saving up for a laptop for college because in a year I'll be in college. So I was thinking rather than spending my money on a PlayStation 4 Pro, I could be getting a laptop with the GTX 1060, not only have a gaming machine that's portable, but get all my schoolwork and rendering done very, very quickly. So that might just be what I do instead. Maybe if Sony sold this a little bit better at their conference because it wasn't quite as amazing as I thought it was going to be, but I'll get back to you guys on that because I will change my mind time and time again over the next few months. Sorry if this was a longer video. I didn't really want to babble on, but anyway, I am tired as hell, and I still have this video to render. So I'm going to get going. I will be uploading more videos about the Scorpio and a bunch of other things. I have some new ideas for videos, so I hope you guys enjoyed. Please leave a like, and do not forget to subscribe. Thanks again for watching. Hope you have a fantastic day.